Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans joining us around the world, this is the main event and this is the fight of the night. This was the fight of the year, and now the rematch. Barry Hearn for Ringside Boxing Promotions, in association with Prince Promotions and Matchroom Sport, proudly presents for your entertainment 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. Sponsored here by Betfred, the biggest independent bookmaker in the world. And a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live here on Sky Sports. You've joined us on Saturday Fight Night, and you've joined us for the very best ringside seat in the business. All the officials have been appointed by the WBC President Dr. Jose Sulaiman of Mexico. At ringside, our Vice Chairman from Spain, Ruben Martinez. Our fight supervisor is Mr. Hussein Wichi. All in association with the British Boxing Board of Control, we would like to welcome here at ringside the Vice President of the Korean Boxing Commission, Chang Soo-min. Our timekeeper at the bell, appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, is Mr. Colin Roberts of Halifax. Our 3 scoring judges here at ringside from the USA, Tommy Kazmarek. From Belgium, Bob Lugist. From Japan, Ken Moretta. And the referee in charge of the action from Italy is Massimo Barravecchi. Ladies and gentlemen, they were the officials and here are the contestants. Introducing to you, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks trimmed with white, weighing in at 8 stone, 13 pounds, 10 ounces, with a 30-fight record, 27 wins, 16 inside the scheduled distance, 2 losses and 1 draw. He's the former 2-time world title challenger from Seoul, South Korea. Hanyang Hamneda Injin Chi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, he's fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red, white, and blue trunks and weighing 9-stone championship weight. With a 37-fight record, 35 wins, 23 inside the distance, 1 loss, 1 draw. The former undefeated British Commonwealth European champion, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Manchester's #1 son, it's Michael Brody! So the rematch is on. Let's get the action underway. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBC Featherweight Championship of the World.
A real sense of occasion here after what happened in the first fight.
That I say in the dressing room, okay? Good luck. Okay.
And remember, the opening seconds of that first fight featured the cut that was to cause so much controversy on the scorecards when they came to top them up amid much chaos, confusion, and, well, plain controversy. The Italian referee this time, it's not the Belgian Daniel van der Wieler, it's Massimo Barravecchio from Italy. What will unfold this time? How much did that first fight take out of Brody? Chi, I think, is going to give us the same again. Can Brody just box him a little bit more this time? Maybe step up the attacks to the body, which seemed to be troubling Chi in the middle rounds. That's what Brody's camp have been working on, and pacing it a little bit better. In the red, white and blue, Brody of Manchester, looking to cap a fine career here with a world championship that most people in this business think he deserves.
pacing this fight is so important. I mean, I don't expect there's any way Brody expects an inside the distance win. He reckons it's going to go all the way if he's going to win, so he has to have more in the tank this time than he had last time. I think the trick is winning a round by a yard as opposed to winning it by a mile. Don't use up too much energy in the first half of the fight.
Just save a bit of the petrol. All these plans are fine, but Chi is the kind of fighter who draws you into a battle. It happened the first fight, it happened with Morales as well, who was happy, of course, to accommodate him. He looks so strong, this Korean.
He looks so much bigger than Brody. A couple of low punches already from Chi. It's the second left hook straight low.
He's looking to hunt him down and gets him with the right hand around the temple and puts Brody down early. Bad start for Brody. A very confident Injin Chi does not obviously plan to leave this to the judges this time, and Brody's in trouble early. Can he come back from that? Have all the wars taken something away from Brody?
You can see Chi's intentions is just to walk right through Brody. It actually looks like a catchweight contest. It looks like a welterweight in there.
And he's teeing off with right hands as well. Chi forced to box away from home. He's never looked fazed by that all week in the build-up to it. And Brody's on the back foot here in more ways than one.
See, the problem with Brody trying to box in the early stages, you can give up the driving seat to the other fellow.
Yeah.
And this fellow's jumped right into the driving seat.
Oh, and he's caught by another right hand. He does tend to mark up these days and get swellings around the face. Brody's in trouble in this opening round, and he's really here going to have to just hang on in there and get through this opening session. This is a spectacular start, and it's not good news for Michael Brody, this.
You can just see the sheer strength of Chi. Nothing clever, nothing subtle, just walking through what Brody's doing, taking over.
Ferocious shots from the Korean. Brody at last finds a bit of, but he's caught by another right hand and seemed a bit leggy after that one landed as well, right at the end of the round. Brody's glad to hear that final bell to end a torrid opening round for him. Goodness me. How deep can he keep on digging?
Well, Brody was on the floor early in the last encounter. He had to come back from that, and he did it in fine style. But that was even more shattering than a one-punch knockdown. That was a round where you were completely dominated. That was a beautiful punch. I don't think Brody completely recovered from that, but he was virtually wiped out in the first round. He couldn't get started. He came back with some decent punches as the round went on, but couldn't discourage this fellow. If you just look at the size of him compared to Brody, he looks a different weight class altogether. He's just walking through what Brody's doing. He doesn't have to show respect for Brody's power or his strength, just walking right through, crude, but punching from all angles, non-stop.
There's nothing that scientific about it, but he just never stops. He's a manic marauder of a fighter, this Korean Injin Chi, in the dark blue trunks and the orange hair, fighting proudly for his nation tonight. And they've had a few good fighters down the years as well. Brody has to pick up the pace. He was in trouble early, remember though, in the first meeting, down in that one in the opening couple of rounds too. Came back well. Can he do it again here? Was he trying to be just too cool, too scientific early on? Chi jumped on him, didn't he, Jim?
Yep, I think doing it the smart way has gone out the window, because I think he's got to gain this fella's respect, and the only way he's going to do that is the way he did it last time. That's the heads coming together again then. Thankfully, no damage this time.
And the right hand gets in, and then a left hook from Injin Chi, who's very tall at the weight. How on earth was he ever a flyweight and bantamweight, you wonder?
And you can see the body language of both fighters. Chi knows he's the man at the moment. He just knows he has Brody where he wants him.
This for the WBC's Featherweight Championship. Held by some great names down the years. A real history and tradition about this title.
I I think the Chi camp realise Brody cannot do this for 12 rounds. Chi can. So that's the way they've set out. He has not given Brody a second to get his breath.
And he's catching him with headshots all the time, and Brody's body attack so far just hasn't begun to happen. Every time he gets in close or tries to, he gets caught with shots, and Chi here is very accurate and great repertoire as well. Uppercuts, rangy shots.
The more I look at Chi, and I'm wondering, I wonder what he weighs tonight. I know what he weighed yesterday, but just looking at the size of him, I wonder how heavy he is tonight. He looks a different weight class to Brody.
Well, they don't have 24-hour weigh-ins. This one was 31 hours before the fight. So they can put on a lot of weight between time. Chi, I bet, yeah, significant advantage, I would think, on the night. He looks very commanding and domineering early on here. What can Brody do about this?
I think his only chance is to get some body shots home and try and take some of the steam out of this fellow. Headshots don't seem to have any effect. Has to work the body.
That's a bit better from Brody. He'll do something to make him think, to just prick that bubble of confidence that Chi seems to have brought into this fight. He's dominating it early. He really is, Injin Chi. Welcome back to Manchester, where the visiting fighter, Injin Chi, has made a very impressive start here against Michael Brody in this world featherweight title fight.
10 seconds, go.
Well, we're looking for Brody to do his good work in the early stages, maybe have a points lead to take into the second half of the fight, but that could not be further from what's actually happening.
Third round. Michael Brody has already had to come through a storm in the red, white and blue. Looking to become a world champion at the third attempt, as indeed is Injin Chi, by the way, who felt he won the first fight and was even given the belt to take home by the WBC, and then they sent him a bill for it.
See, Chi doesn't mind missing with shots. He's crude, but he just lets the punches go from any angle. If he misses with a couple, he's not put off in the slightest. He just keeps raining the punches. Brody trying to be a little bit precise at the moment.
I think Brody needs a big round right here, Jim.
I think he has to hurt Chi. I think he has to gain his respect. I don't know what he can do to the head. So a real good body shot, the short rib, if he can find that rib cage. But it's not happening at the moment.
Slow start from Brody. Picks up good left hand to the head. That brought a little nod of appreciation back from Injin Chi. Listen to the crowd here. Brody ringing around this M.E.N.Arena, and there is a left hook to the body, twice over, from the former British, European and Commonwealth champion, and a right hand. But there's an indestructibility about this Korean, which is discouraging for his opponents.
But this is the best bit of sustained work from Brody so far. He's not having it his own way by a long chalk, but this is some sustained work for him, which we haven't seen up to this point.
Just beginning to get a foothold here in this round, Brody. They're trying to lift him. They know what his story's been, how hard it's been for his life. He's managed to match. It's a low blow from Chi. He doesn't mind where they go much. He'll just keep throwing the leather. Brody has to match him, and he's being drawn into the same kind of fight as we saw the first time here. And he might have to fight that kind of fight, I think, Jim.
I don't think he has any choice. I mean, there's no easy way to box this fellow. You just have to try to gain his respect. He's been walking through what Brody's been doing for the first couple of rounds, so Brody has no choice but to meet him head on. That's what he's doing now.
Passing with a right hand to the head, Brody. Lowish with the left hand, but much better work rate now from Brody. At last, he's got into the pace of the fight. Best yet from Brody in the third.
mean, if Brody didn't know this fellow so well, he could be hoping maybe he's going to run out of steam. But we've seen him doing this in the past for 12 rounds.
More like it from Brody in the third. Well, once again, it's pretty electrifying stuff, Jim, this, isn't it?
Well, thankfully we're getting exactly what we expected. Another tremendous battle. Brody trying to work the body now. He realises plan A is out the window. There's no easy way to nick rounds off of this fellow. So he's just got to do it the hard way, and that's what he's doing. But the previous round was the first time he had his own boxing under control.
About 5,000 fans, I reckon, in here, and they seem to be living every second, taking every punch with Brody. You get that feeling. Big turnout at the weigh-in, including Pat Creran, the old Manchester United star. He was there yesterday. A lot of people willing him on in this city, and including, I think, just about everybody in British boxing as well. Trying to just work a few more angles and not get involved as much as he did the first time. Just leave a little bit for the later rounds, Brody. But in doing that, he mustn't give away the early ones. Just beginning to find his rhythm, isn't he, Brody, Jim?
Yeah, he seems to be warming to the task now. I think there was a look of shock in the first round. But as I say, in the third round, it was the first time he got his own boxing under control. It was a tough round, but he seemed to be in control of his actions. He wasn't being bullied as much as he was in the first two rounds.
As the early storm from the Far East just blown itself out. The typhoon, I ought to say. Brody's hoping so. Oh, it's a good right hand to the body. Really sunk that one in to the stomach. She doesn't care about that. Here he goes again.
It must be so demoralising when you land your best body shot and the fellow just takes a deep breath and comes firing back. This fellow could break anybody's heart.
Even Eric Morales couldn't make a dent in him. He beat him over 12 rounds, but she was competitive right the way through in a fiery battle in Las Vegas.
See, Morales is a bit more controlled than Brody, doesn't offer as much target. But the trouble for Brody is that he takes some full-blooded shots already. There he goes again, his defence is not quite what it should be. Heads banging together again.
Not for the first time. Now, is there a cut here for G? He's got his back to us at the moment. He's holding his head as in the first fight. Now, remember this rule, if there is a cut, the uncut boxer has a point deducted, and the uncut boxer here is Michael Brody. Now, this is a WBC rule, nobody else has it, and here is the point deduction. The referee's making it perfectly clear, which in the first fight, Daniel van der Wheeler, the referee, didn't. So a point off for Brody. Who says lightning doesn't strike twice?
Unbelievable. I'll tell you, Ian, we don't want it to go to the cards at the moment. If this round finishes, it can go to the cards.
Yeah,
She is well in front.
4 completed rounds, they would go to the cards, and she would be in front. That would be a sick ending, really. You wouldn't want that. He's just rocked again by one of those right hands, went through to his legs from Chi. How bad is that cut? No chance really to have a good close look at it. Still unloading. This time with a right uppercut. Well, that's a bad round for Brody. He's lost a point. She's got a cut. And the drama is unceasing in these meetings between these two.
Well, it's turning into a little bit of a disaster for Michael Brody. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. The only thing probably is the fact that he's not the one with the cut. But everything else apart from that has gone wrong for him. See, I mean, you have to say, if you want to fault someone for that clash, you had to fault Brody. Brody was coming in with his head low. So I don't think this time, I don't think Brody can complain about it.
No debate, is there, Jim?
No question. But Brody was dipping in low, coming with his head almost in front of his gloves. I'm not saying it was intentional, but obviously it was Brody's fault.
The bad news for him was that it caused a cut. He might have got away with that if there'd been no cut. But let's go over that WBC rule for you. In this event, the uncut boxer has a point deducted. Simple as that. Controversial, but that's the WBC for you. That's their ruling. Here we go with round 5. And if the cut forces a stoppage now, they would go to the scorecards. And Chi undoubtedly is in a handy lead already, the Korean.
Well, I think once again Michael Brodie has shown the tremendous courage that he's displayed throughout his career. We wondered how many times he could drag this out. He's dragging it out again.
He's just proving a bit too easy to hit, for my money here, Brodie, for a man who's looking to outbox his opponent.
See, I think it's the fact that Chi throws punches from all different angles and he doesn't stop and he can walk through what Brodie's doing. So there's nothing to deter him, he can just let the punches flow. Nothing much Brodie can do about it.
Hardly ever uses the jab, Injun Chi, just marauds forward all the time. Wades in, lets the leather fly, doesn't care if he misses with 2, if the other 3 land.
And I don't know that Brodie's punches have the same snap. He's not getting the chance to deliver them properly. This fellow's not giving him a second to set himself.
Brodie looks strong there though, he forced Chi back. There are times when Chi does look like a fighter from another weight division. He looks big and he looks intimidating. And he's carried the air of a man who thought he was going to win and had Brodie's measure all week. Again, there was a head clash there, another one. Chi does make rather a lot of it every time, doesn't he?
I'm a bit surprised at Chi doing that. I mean, that one, okay, the first one was a bad clash. That wasn't really.
Good defence from Brodie that time. It just goes into a few theatricals. Quite like a footballer taking a dive, but you know what I mean. Just content to get on with that. That's a good clubbing right hand from the Manchester man. And a left hook got through as well. Nice and accurate from Brodie. Just a bit wilder, Injun Chi at the moment. And there's Brodie with a body shot as well. Brodie's defence is good in this round. He's taking a lot on the arms.
Yep, as I said, he's got control of his boxing now, but he really needs to make an impression on this fellow. He needs to hurt him either to the head or the body, just to give him something to think about. But we still have Chi walking right through Brodie's punches.
Yet again, a great atmosphere as Chi gets in with a right uppercut on the inside.
Brodie trying to work the body, that's what's needed.
Close round. Welcome back to Manchester. Not happy news so far for Michael Brodie, who's landed less punches according to our computer, even though his success rate is marginally better. Head clashes featuring again in this contest.
Well, no question, that one was Brodie's fault.
Brodie already with a point deducted in the 4th round. Chi with a cut which does not look bad. The corner have done a good job with him on that one. He's got Young Kil Kim in the corner, who was the trainer of the great light flyweight Myung Woo Ya. Has to meet fire with fire to some extent, Brodie here.
Well, Chi's pace is slowed a bit now, so if Michael still has something in the tank, he should be able to find the target now, but still Chi by far the stronger of the two.
Maybe waiting for the winner here, a big fight with Marco Antonio Barrera, maybe even a comebacking Prince Nassim Hamed, who I know is watching tonight avidly. Rumours no more than that of him making a comeback later on in the year. We'll wait and see. Chi again daps away at his right eye. Can't see any blood there at the moment, but his work rate is absolutely prodigious
He's taking charge. This is a bad spell for Brody at the moment, Ian, because he's coming back with nothing and he's been pounded around the ring here. He's covering up well, but not coming back with anything.
Just can't really quite get into it, Brody, here against this man who seems to have the strength and stamina of a Grand National winner.
Again, I'm just wondering what the weight differential would be between them here. It looks massive, Chi.
Again, a clash of heads. Again, Injun Chi wants to stop the action and touch gloves. He's a very gentlemanly character until he gets in a boxing ring. He's even talked of retiring if he loses, Injun Chi. He doesn't look like a guy on the verge of retirement to me.
Well, he's happy to draw Brody on now.
Good right hand for Brody. One of his best punches of the fight. That lifts the crowd as well. His defence is quite tight. He's making Injun Chi miss a bit. He's lunging. He's a little wild now, the Korean, even though he keeps pumping out the leather all the time. And the judges may be seeing that too. They see a man who looks as if he's in control of it, and by and large he has been, to be honest with you.
But every good spell Brody has, Chi comes back with this type of stuff. He started the round better than Brody and he's finished it better.
Yeah, he's just working him over at the end of the round. Punches the air, Injun Chi. And this is looking like a bad news story for a swollen and marked up Michael Brody at the moment.
You've got to take this back, you've got to back him up. That's why he's whinging about the
Crisis talks in that corner. He's getting badly swollen, I think. Brody, that left eye. And I think his nose has an injury as well. And Injun Chi hardly with a mark on him. Even that cut seems to have somehow disappeared, doesn't it?
Yeah, big problems on the card for Brody. A couple of big rounds against him. But I don't know, does he have the strength to turn this around? We're hoping actually Chi begins to run out of steam. He hasn't done it in the past. No signs of it happening here. Brody had a good spell in the previous round. Then Chi comes straight back at him again. Just when Brody thinks he's getting himself into the fight, back comes Chi.
I know the Brody camps are more confident this time. They thought the build-up had gone better. There was a lot of emotional trauma in the background on the way into the first fight for Brody. Not this time. He's been locked away for 6 weeks, away from any distractions. They felt the sparring had gone well, but it's a bit like Thierry Henry with this Injun Chi. You know what he's going to do, but you can't stop him doing it.
And I think it's also the case, as I said earlier, when you're sitting in the dressing room and you know what's ahead of you. You just know how tough it's going to be. I mean, it can dent your confidence, that knowledge alone. But full credit to Brody, he's still giving it everything he has.
But already, we think he's quite a way behind. Jim and I have it by 5 points at this point. And remember, Brody has been on the floor and had a point deducted. If he can rescue this from here, it will be some effort, I tell you.
Well, no real signs of tiredness from Brody, which is good news. He hasn't been sagging, he's been caught with some good shots, but he's not sagging through his own efforts. So hopefully if the pace does slow down a bit and Chi does begin to tire, he does have something to come back with. Don't know, time will tell.
Well, the home fans can but hope that Brody can come on strong in the second half of the fight. He's going to need to. You can't really see Chi slowing down that much. Oh, and here he goes again, ramming home the shots. The Italian referee takes a slightly closer look at Brody for a moment. But he's been brilliantly conditioned for this, Brody, but he has had a lot of hard fights in his career. And there comes a point where the petrol tank does start to empty for any fighter. And look at this. Back he comes, Brody. Great left up and he's caught with another body shot. Chi celebrates. He thinks it's the end already. Is it going to be? Can Brody get get up from this? I don't think he's going to. He's going to get counted out. It's over. Michael Brody's dream is shattered. And Injin Chi, no arguments, no doubts this time, is the WBC featherweight champion of the world, and he deserved it.
Even I wonder, Ian, I don't think there'll be a queue a mile long knocking on his door. This fellow is a nightmare, tremendously strong. Full credit to Michael Brody here. He gave it every ounce he had. He was never good enough for the job. This fellow is just too much of a beast, as I said.
And both men are on the floor here. Injin Chi is saying a silent prayer of rejoice. Third time of asking, he is the world champion. It never, frankly, looked in much doubt tonight. Those Korean fans who've come up from Surrey, where they live, they're celebrating too. They'll have a happy journey home. But for Michael Brody, well, your heart goes out to him.
Yeah, but I had a secret wish that Brody would have lost the purse bid. It would have gone to Korea and he would have refused the fight and maybe taken on Scott Harrison, for example. Always felt this fight was just a little bit beyond him. As we said in commentary during the fight, this fellow looked a different weight division. The way he pushed Brody around, just come through everything that Brody threw at him, landed the body shot and just took everything away from him.
I don't really think that the Brody camp ever wanted a rematch with Injin Chi, but they felt it was what they had to do. You're right, Jim. I think they'd have preferred to fight Scott Harrison for the WBA.
Yeah, but I think so. I actually hoped they would have lost. I know they would not have gone to Korea, so I actually hoped. But full credit to Brody's camp, because they got the fight here. They gave him every opportunity, and congratulations to Michael himself. He gave it every ounce. But this fellow, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking he's a welterweight. As soon as the first bell sounded, he looked to be in a different weight division. I think this exaggerates the problem we have with the 30 hours before a fight weigh-in. This fellow had a tremendous physical advantage over Brody. But full credit to him. What a performance from Chi.
Yeah, he was superb tonight. And really trying to stop him is like trying to stop a tidal wave with a dam made of balsa wood, isn't it, really?
But this fellow's always done it the hard way. He wanted to win a proper world championship. That was always his dream. Actually, he was world champion for 5 minutes at one time until they actually announced the decision against Willie Horin. He was champion. He should have world champion on his CV. It's terrible luck that he doesn't have, but he wanted a proper title, one with the full respect, and that's what he always chased. That's what he chased tonight. But just a dream too far.
I think whatever happens to Michael Brody, he's had a distinguished career. Shame for him, he never got the world title he deserved. But tonight, let's be frank and honest about it, he was well beaten.
Ladies and gentlemen, timekeeper Colin Roberts has recorded a time of 2 minutes, 48 seconds of the 7th round. On a count-out, your winner and the new WBC featherweight champion of the world from Seoul, Korea, Injin Chi. And ladies and gentlemen, show your appreciation for the very brave, the very gallant Michael Brody. Now our fight supervisor, will now present the championship belt.
Everyone in the M.E.N. arena stands to applaud Brody in the hope that from somewhere he may find the resolve to campaign on after this. But equally, nobody gainsays the victory for Injin Chi. As Jim said for a few minutes the last time, he thought that belt was his. This time, nobody can question it, surely. Of course, it's a massive disappointment for Jack Trickett, Brody's manager, who's followed him every step on the way. We'll gather some reaction at ringside shortly. Just a reminder, we have more action to come from our bill in Manchester with Michael Jones up against Darren Rhodes in a very important British light middleweight title eliminator tonight as the celebrations continue behind us. Barry, just a brief word with you. Why did Brody come up so short relative to the last one?
This guy's just too good for him, simple as that. We can come up with all the excuses in the world. This guy was just too tough, too big, too strong, too powerful, and really, you know,